What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Guys, there's a particular story that was brought to me from a subscriber, and I'm going to keep his name private, but I want to read the potential email that he sent me. Take music! Potential topic, GoFundMe Mom. Hi O'Shea, love the content and the message you're bringing to the black community. The below story is about a mom of 3 facing eviction and getting over $170,000 from donors. She appears to be unwed and maybe multiple baby daddies. She asked for $2,000 and got over $100,000. It'd be great to hear your thoughts on this. So then we go to the particular story. There's a young lady by the name of Dasha Kelly, okay? And she doesn't understand how she's going to pay her rent, okay? And, she was in Las Vegas. CNN picked up the story, and she was with her 3 daughters. And, they were able to get a lot more money than $170,000, okay? And she was a card dealer when the pandemic forced casinos to shut down. All right? And she's one of the 11 million Americans that are behind on their rent. She had no idea on what they're going to do. The campaign raised more than $172,000 with 2,700 donors. And, like I said, I understand that people make mistakes. Now, I don't want to show all of her photos, but it looks like maybe, obviously the young lady in this photo, she's black. I don't know if this is her particular photo or not, but obviously she's a hard-working woman and she's trying to do the best she can to feed her family. So I'm not going to be sitting back, hating on anybody. Okay? More power to her. Okay? But what I want to talk about is a lot of times what we're seeing in America is, we have these situations where you have these families and these families that, and obviously that is her photo. She looks like mixed children. The father's not there. And so what happens is that the situation that some people get themselves in, other people have to bail them out. And it seems like, a great story for humanity and all of that. But the reality is what we're teaching Americans and what we're teaching people in the black community, be it male or female, is if you make a mistake, and what I'm saying by a mistake is not having a family that, the father's there, you're there. You have enough education before you start having kids, okay? Before you can provide for your kids and bring them into a world that you can't really take care of them because you don't have the skill set to do it, or you don't have the training to do it. If you do that, and you somehow fall behind, and that's any American, I don't care what your race is, we will bail you out. That's the reality. And for women that have children, obviously we are more, society, we have a lot of love for women in our society, in our community. And I don't, have a problem with that because I have a lot of love for women in my community. I would be compelled hearing her story if I were to see her out to do something for her also. As a black man, right? Knowing our community and knowing how our people are. But what I want to also address is this. There are a lot of single black women in the community who are also struggling. But they don't get any type of support because they don't have children. This is a talking point of mine all the time. I'm leaving men out of this because you guys know how I feel that it's men's responsibility to help other men. We are our own GoFundMe, okay? And Brother George preaches this, and women are what men give them in communities. But I want to talk about this in the defense of black women who are also struggling in the economy, who are also having problems finding jobs. We have a lot of African American women in our community that are doing the right thing, that are struggling. And when it comes to helping them, it falls on deaf ears. We can raise $170,000 for this particular young lady and her children, and it's a story. But the sister who might be in community college, or the sister who might be at Spelman, or the sister who might be behind on her rent because, you know, she just graduated from college and things like that, and she comes from a poor family, you know, and this is a sister who could turn something around. If they had $170,000 in Black America, they would start a business and be able to do something that would contribute to our overall community. They would contribute something to our overall community. But these particular young ladies don't get that help. And then I'm asking is, why is there always so much support for the people that will have a harder time turning it around, instead of us putting our support around the people who have the greatest chances of turning around? Like we have to make the difference between charity and investment. If we're going to give our money away to people, let's give our money away to people who can do something for us, versus people who, you know, are likely to be back in the same situations. I'm not saying this is going to happen with her. I understand she asked for $2,000. I would have had no problem with whatever amount it was, whatever. You want to give her $175. It doesn't matter to me. What I'm talking about is that, you know, where are the parents? Where is the father? Where are the skills that you have before you start wanting to make the family? Like, you know, a lot of times we have people that want to come out and they don't want to listen. You know, they come from bad homes or they come from poor homes, and then they have children, and then they find out in the economy they don't have the skills to take care of these children. So then you're suffering with the kids. You don't understand how money works or money management. So then those kids don't have an opportunity because the parent, be it either male or female, doesn't have the skill sets in the economy to produce. So then those kids are suffering. And when kids suffer, they have a likelihood of getting into what? Gangs, to getting into what? Drugs, to become teen pregnancies, or becoming early mothers or fathers themselves. And then the cycle continues. But we don't talk about that in our society. You know, it's like we want to give people the excuse to keep on making the mistakes that keep us behind. Okay? So people have to spend their hard-earned money helping somebody who didn't even want to make, in my opinion, a lot of good decisions for themselves. This is not me hating. I'm just being really honest here. Okay? I'm being really honest here. And in order for the communities to grow, people have to get into marriages and families that they have strong networks and communities that back them. So then that way, you're not so much of a burden to the community. Our communities where you're serving. Because you know what? So many people did so much for me in the Black community. I refuse that I come back and be a burden to anybody because of some of the decisions that I didn't prepare for. And then we oftentimes do give people an out to continue this behavior because we'll bail them out. But we won't bail out our people who are actually going to produce for us on a bigger scale. Like if we're going to give money to people, you know, I know all the people didn't come from the Black community, but what about the young women out there who have the ability to start businesses or start things and they don't get the support? We typically want to support people that didn't think these things out. And I'm not hating on this young lady. I'm just using her as an example. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.